Welcome back to Mega Psyche, where we talk about the psychology of love, attraction, and the patterns that determine whether a relationship builds you up or quietly drains everything you have. Today we are talking about something that most people in the relationship space are too cautious to address directly. But Mega Psyche is not built for cautious conversations. It is built for honest ones. This video is not about judging women. It is about protecting yourself. Because when you mistake emotional numbness for maturity, you end up pouring everything you have into someone who has already been emptied by too many people before you. Here are 8 psychological signs that a woman has been with too many men, and what it costs you if you do not recognize them early. Drop a 1 in the comments if you have ever felt a genuine emotional connection was missing with someone who seemed perfectly fine on the surface. Because that feeling has a psychological explanation. Sign 1. She is emotionally numb. You feel it almost immediately. Something about her energy does not quite reach you. She can laugh, flirt, say all the right things, but there's nothing behind it that actually lands. Here is the psychology. When a woman has given herself emotionally and physically to many people over time, each connection takes something, and eventually those losses accumulate into a quiet disconnection. She no longer falls into love. She repeats patterns. She does not bond deeply. She entertains. She does not feel genuinely. She performs. And most men confuse this emotional emptiness with independence or mystery. But mystery is not strength. It is protection. She has built walls so high because too many people already got through them and left damage behind. The mistake most men make is thinking their love can bring her back to softness. What was lost over years of repeated connection and disconnection rarely comes back from one relationship alone. Sign 2. She treats intimacy casually. When a woman has been with many men, intimacy loses its weight. It becomes transactional rather than meaningful. She talks about it openly, almost like any other activity. No hesitation, no depth, no sense of something being protected or sacred. She might frame this as confidence. I know what I like. I am not shy about my body. And while confidence is genuine and healthy, what you are often witnessing here is desensitization. When something intimate has been shared with too many people, it stops feeling intimate. Her body remembers touch, but not connection. Her mind remembers the experience, but not the meaning behind it. And the most painful part is that she often does not fully realize how numb she had become to what should feel significant. Sign 3. She cannot stay loyal for long. This is not about morality. It is about psychological conditioning. Every time a woman has been intimate and walked away from it without real attachment, she trains her heart to avoid depth. Do not get too close. It never lasts anyway. So even when she meets a genuinely good man, she does not know how to stay. She is drawn to the rush of newness, the excitement of early attraction, the thrill of something beginning. But when that initial feeling fades, her instinct is to leave rather than build. You will see the pattern in her history. A series of short connections. New stories every few months. Always a new lesson, but the same outcome. The problem is never the man. The problem is that she's been in so many temporary bonds that permanence genuinely feels suffocating to her nervous system. You cannot build something lasting with someone who has been psychologically trained for temporary. She will not leave because she hates you. She will leave because she is wired that way. Make sure you're subscribed to Mega Psyche right now, because we bring this level of honest relationship psychology every single week. Sign 4. She is overly skilled at handling men. When a woman has navigated many male relationships, she develops a kind of emotional expertise. She knows when to pull back to create chase. She knows when to be soft to draw you in. She knows how to mirror your emotions in ways that make you feel deeply understood. At first, it feels like emotional maturity. You think she just gets you. But what you are actually experiencing is learned pattern recognition rather than genuine connection. She is not responding to you specifically. She is responding to what her accumulated experience has trained her to expect from men in general. You are not building something new together. You are unknowingly repeating her old story. And that is why men often feel emotionally drained around women like this, despite everything seeming fine on the surface. Sign 5. She is addicted to male attention. A woman who has been desired by many develops an emotional dependency on that feeling. Constant validation, likes, messages, and attention become her fuel rather than a bonus. Without it, she feels invisible. So she keeps the cycle running. Always someone orbiting her. Always old connections, on standby. Always performing for an audience online. And when you try to offer her genuine peace instead of constant pursuit, she calls it boring. When you stop chasing, she starts pulling away. Not because you did something wrong, but because she's been trained by too many experiences to equate chaos with love and calm with indifference. The trap most men fall into here is trying harder to keep her attention, not realizing they are competing with patterns built by many people over many years. Sign 6. Her friend circle mirrors her past. You can learn enormous amounts about a woman by studying her environment. If her entire social circle glorifies short-term connections, treats men as disposable, and measures worth through attention and body count, understand this clearly. She is living inside an echo chamber that normalizes all of it. When every woman around her treats intimacy as casual and commitment as weakness, those values become invisible to her because they are all she sees. You will notice it in how her friends respond to her relationships. They will encourage her to keep options open, post more, flirt more, stay unattached. You are not just dating the woman. You are dating her lifestyle, her influences, and the standards her environment has normalized around her. And if those standards treat men as temporary, you will always be fighting for permanence in a world built around impermanence. Sign 7. She speaks about men with bitterness or arrogance. All men are the same. I do not need anyone. I am too much for most men. These phrases are not confidence. They are emotional armor built from accumulated disappointment. When a woman has been through too many failed connections, cynicism starts to feel safer than hope. She builds a persona around being unbothered, unaffected, impossible to hurt. But underneath that persona is exhaustion. Too many connections that went nowhere have taught her that love is either manipulation or weakness. And this is why this sign matters so much. Once a woman reaches that level of emotional burnout, no amount of genuine loyalty from you will make her trust again, because the problem is not you. It is a residue of every person who came before you that she never fully processed. Sign 8. She is always in a healing era. Every few months there is a new chapter, new self-love quotes, new boundaries, new focus on herself. But if you look at the actual pattern, it is always the same loop. Get hurt, heal briefly, repeat. That is not healing. That is resetting the stage for the next temporary connection. She has been with so many people that her version of recovery is just enough emotional detox to create space for someone new. She will say she is focusing on herself, but there is always someone lingering nearby, a new friend, a situationship, something undefined, because stillness, true stillness, would force her to sit with a truth she has been avoiding. She has given too much of herself to too many people, and she no longer knows who she is without someone wanting her. And when a woman loses that sense of self, she stops loving. She collects experiences to fill the emptiness instead. Here is what Mega Psyche wants you to carry out of this video today. None of this makes her evil. It makes her tired. Tired from giving herself to people who never deserved the depth of what she was offering. But that exhaustion has a cost. And if you're not paying attention, you will walk into your pattern convinced that you are the one who can finally fix what many people before you could not. You cannot love someone into healing they have not chosen for themselves. You cannot build peace inside a cycle that was running long before you arrived. So do not hate her. Do not judge her. Just recognize the pattern clearly, because awareness does not just protect your heart. It protects your time, your energy, and the peace you worked hard to build.